9 years old, and I'm running around the city. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I'm seeing tanks in the streets, dead bodies lying in gutters, and this was all caused by the man who I adored and looked up to, the father of our nation, Joseph Stalin. My name is George Decsy, and I wrote this book. It's called The Reluctant Refugee. It's a story. People always ask, what's it about? That's the first question. It's about my family's escape from communist Hungary in '56, subsequent arrival and assimilation into British culture, the horrors of Catholic boarding school, an alcoholic stepfather. Well, it's a human story. You're going to get an experience of a 9-year-old boy running around a war zone in the city, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, actually. And it's something that has stuck with me, and I felt compelled to write my experiences down for myself, for my children, and for the world. And I'm sure you will be interested in it. Yes, well, I was a fully committed young communist and a member of the young communist organizations, and my life revolved around these activities. And once the turmoil in the streets opened my eyes to the realities of the situation, it took me a while to come to terms with the fact that I had been so indoctrinated by the party, by the mechanism, by the establishment, that I actually believed everything I was told. And at some point there was revelation. It was like, this is all just a lie. It is not. I've been told this is true, but it's complete, utter nonsense. My revolution was in black and white. Now I'm seeing the same scenes unfolding in front of my eyes in full color. I wrote the book. When I first started writing the book, there was relative peace in the world. Now it seems everything is there's huge turmoil, death and destruction, especially in Ukraine. And it just reflects my own experience. So as I look at the news currently and see the war in Ukraine, I know there's another 9-year-old boy somewhere in that country experiencing the same thing that I experienced as a kid, and living in fear in a war zone. You don't know if you're going to make it through the next day. It's a hugely traumatic thing for a person, a kid, a 9-year-old kid to go through. And I feel a huge affinity towards the people of Ukraine and the horrors that they have to go through this due to the communists, again, trying to expand or maintain their empire. So the phone rings one afternoon, I pick it up, it's my mother. She says, "Your father is dying." She didn't mince her words. She was never one to mince her words. And I decided that this mysterious man, this ghost of a man who I've heard so much about but have never met, is on his deathbed, prompted me to start making arrangements to go and find him in Budapest. So after many false starts, I finally tracked my father down, and he was living in an apartment in Budapest. And I'd just like to read a couple of paragraphs from that occasion. The following day, at the appointed time, I presented myself at the Strohmeyer's flat. My father's wife let me in and led me silently to a small room near the front door. "Coffee?" I nodded. She left the room, heading presumably for the kitchen. I sat nervously. The sound of a radio from the adjacent room, a mixture of news and classical music, filtered through the wall. I waited.